Live from the Brickyard in Hobart, Indiana, RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports presents the 2015 high school girls soccer season, where this evening, in a Northwest Crossroads Conference matchup, the Hobart Brickies host the Kankakee Valley Cougars. Good evening, everybody. Mike Knezovich, along with former KV head coach John Huffnagel, along with Yassine Flores, working the camera for us this evening as we get set for this matchup here between the Brickies and the Cougars. The Hobart Brickies checking in with a record of 2-3. They are 0-1 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. And the Kankakee Valley Cougars coming in with a mark of 1-3, and they are 0-1 in the NWCC. We want to thank the folks that are making tonight's broadcast possible here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports for our soccer coverage here in 2015. And they include State Farm Insurance, also Cintier Bank, ArcelorMittal, and Teachers Credit Union. We also want to thank Scapel Buick GMC Cadillac and United States Marine Corps. Also, thanks go out to Horizon Bank, the Tauber Law Offices, and Levin Tire, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. We also want to thank the Northwest Indiana Soccer League, also Millennium Soccer Association Vardar, and Albert's Diamond Jewelers. Also, thanks go out as well to Tech Credit Union and Christensen Chevrolet on Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Also, thanks go out to Automasters for their terrific support. And also the folks that have really made today's broadcast possible here of Hobart and Kankakee Valley, and they include Superior Construction Company on East Dunes Highway in Gary. We also want to give special thanks out to the Henningfield family in support of their daughter Ashley and the Brickies. Also, thanks go out to the Hobart High Soccer Club. I want to thank them for their terrific support of not only the girls out here today, but John Hutchins and the boys team as well. Also, Kankakee Valley's athletic department and the 19 varsity boys and girls sports that it supports and represents. And also thanks to Brett Datillo and the Datillo family for terrific support here of the student athletes here on Regional Radio Sports. I bring in my broadcast partner, John Huffnagel. And, Coach, we've got about a third of the season in so far. The teams have kind of gone through their non-conference part of the schedule as things start to get into the conference level of things. And things shaping up pretty much to form here in Northwest Indiana girls' side of things.
Yeah, for the most part, I would agree. There are some notable exceptions around the area that we might have a chance to get into over the course of the evening. But, at this point, this is, I think, game 5 for each team, I believe. But, I mean, it's early days. You're finding out were you able to knock the rust off over the 2 days and the first couple games of the season. And now it gets serious. 0-1 in the conference, you're never out of it. There's only been twice in the history of the conference that it took an undefeated record to win it. So, I mean, everybody starts play tonight. There's some good matches around the conference, thinking they've still got a chance. But game 2 is time to show up.
Yeah, this Northwest Crossroads Conference, Coach, certainly has really picked up a notch here with the emergence of Jeff Clapman and the Andrean girls program. Aaron Gavalik doing a real good job down in Lowell. They're off to a terrific start. And, of course, Munster, is always going to be strong. Gordon's always going to have Highland playing at a high level of play, and really just a great balance in the NWCC these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And KV has been up there perennially for a long, long time. Hobart, I'm sure they'd like to start to punch their ticket and compete with that upper tier. And history might not suggest it, but I think they've got a chance to do that tonight if they stick to their knitting and come out with a good game plan.
Sarah Gorley, the first-year head coach of Hobart, as she takes over for Colleen Newell, who was with the program since 2007, and co-coaches for the Kankakee Valley Cougars, as right now the team's coming to the central midfield area now for the introduction of our starting lineups. And our starting lineups today are brought to us by Levin Tire Center. You can take advantage of the back-to-school sale now through October 1st at Levin Tire and Service Center. Get up to $140 back on tire rebates on selected brands and find out why they have been named the best in the region 7 years in a row. Levin's carries most brands of tires, so take advantage of their price matchup guarantee. If you find a lower price somewhere else, they will match it. Stop by one of their 7 locations for more details and see why Levin's is Northwest Indiana's preferred auto repair and tire shop. For more information, call 1-800-475-5005, or you can go to levintirecenter.com for valuable money-saving coupons. Levin Tire and Service Center, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. Let's take a look, first of all, at the starting lineup for the Hobart Brickies, as actually they're introducing the Kankakee Valley Cougars, so we'll go with the red and white here. Up top at forwards here this evening are going to be number 30, a junior, Riley DeTillo. She's got 3 goals so far in the early season, and she'll be joined by number 4, Haley Cox, a senior. In the midfield, number 21, Brianna Zimmerman, a senior, will be at left mid. Number 19, Jessica Young, a senior, will be at right mid, with the offensive and defensive central midfielders, respectively, being Reagan Walther, a junior, with 3 goals this year and a helper, along with Abby Tinkle, number 27, a senior. In the back line, it'll be Juliana Colon, a junior, at left fullback. The right fullback will be Abby Klemp, number 20, a junior. The stopper will be Allison Tokar as a junior, and the sweeper will be number 37, Sam Tokar as a senior. In between the pipes for the Cougars, number 46, Kira Dahlgren, a junior, 29 saves so far on the season, 4 games with 8 goals against, and a 2.00 goals against average. John, give us a little thumbnail sketch on the Cougars.
Cougars still trying to figure out who exactly they are as a team. Just one win in their first 4 games is certainly well below average, and some big changes in the style of soccer that they're playing. I mean, you say 8 goals in 4 games for a team and a goalkeeper. You expect, when you see that red and white out there, you typically got the .8s, coming in the goals against average. They've given up 8 goals in 4 games and only scored 4 in their first in their 3 losses, only 2 of those coming from the run of play. So this is not a team that's yet hitting full stride. That's why I think you see the number of lineup changes that you see right now. They got to try to find some rhythm and do it quickly before this conference season gets away from them.
Big shoes to fill with Mackenzie DeMars graduating from last year. Huge. In goal for the Cougars. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Hobart Brickies, coming in with that 2-3 mark, coached by Sarah Gorley. They will go with a 3-4-3 offensive scheme. Up top, they will have a senior, number 14, Haley Burbridge, on the left side. The right winger will be number 10, Emily Plezak, a sophomore. Striker in the middle will be number 23, Ashley Henningfield, and she is a junior. At the offensive central's midfield position will be number 1, Cameron Rosbach. She is a senior. Brianna Pardis will also be at an offensive central mid, number 8, a junior. Michaela Zutanaski, a sophomore, will be at defensive central mid, along with Paige Nestich, a sophomore. The left fullback will be number 17, Elena Plazato. The center back will be number 9, Andrea Oros. The right fullback will be number 16, Gina Del Grosso, a junior. Hannah McPherson between the pipes. But now we honor America with our national anthem. Special thanks again to all of our men and women fighting for our freedom each and every day here in the United States as well as overseas. In between the pipes for the Brickies tonight will be number 21, Hannah McPherson. She's a junior. So far this season, she's only participated in 1 game, and that was a shutout, a 4-0 victory over the Michigan City Wolves, coach, as starting goalkeeper Addison Funk is out with a concussion. So big changes in the back line for both teams tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, KV taking, splitting Sam and Abby up, Sam Tokars and Abby Tinkle up. They're splitting probably the best two center backs, combination, certainly among the best in the region. And then it's going to be interesting. Hobart now going with a 3-4-3 setup, have a freshman at left back. The toughest position to play on the field in a 3-4-3 is left back, and they've got a freshman out there. That's going to be interesting to watch with a backup in between the pipes. Poor kid hit her head off the turf, I hear. I was visiting with some of the players earlier in the game. So if that freshman can hold up at left back in there, and McPherson can do her job and just keep them in it till halftime, I think we might have a match on our hands.
Yeah, talk a little bit, Coach, about the spacing in that back line with only 3 backs as opposed to 4.
Well, they've got to stay together. They've got to play as a unit and slide, and it's up to the wing midfielders to come down and fill the backside space. So the 3 should crowd toward the ball side, stay together and compact. The midfield crowd, will fill in the spaces in front of the ball, and you see how 14 here is dropping in. It's the backside outside mid that's got to cover the channel on the backside of the play.
So we'll watch that backline situation in this ball game. Jacob Bircher is our official in the middle for this ball game here on the girls' side between Kankakee Valley and Hobart. The other linesmen are Prosen Smith along with Tyler Stahl. Kankakee Valley in the red road uniforms on your laptops and electronic devices. They are moving from left to right. The Hobart Brickies in the opposite direction. They're in their home whites with the purple numbers and the purple and yellow gold trim. Midfield third now for the Cougars is settling under it is Reagan Walther. Walther has really done a great job here, Coach, in the early going. 3 goals and an assist. And she is certainly the straw that stirs the drink, getting the ball from the mid to the top of the offense for Kankakee Valley.
She's not only just a superior and unbelievably graceful athlete, but they're clearly their best offensive threat. So interesting that she comes off the top line into the midfield today. So they're clearly looking for something now, but they're taking some firepower off the top.
Ashley Henningfield was chasing after that ball, the junior. Great story there, too, Coach, coming back from the knee injury, a junior, rehabbing herself back. That has certainly been an all-too-familiar story with female student-athletes on the soccer pitch.
Yeah, it sure has. I'm glad to see Ashley out there. What a great player. I mean, Maggie first played with her like 6 years ago. So, and she was a standout then, so it's great to see her on the pitch.
38-10 remaining here in a scoreless first half. We were doing the ball game earlier tonight between Boone Grove and Hebron. That was 1-0 in favor of the Hawks in that ball game at half, as a nice play by Noah Datillo to come up with the goal on a nice feed from the back line for Hebron as they try to continue their undefeated ways in that particular game. And now Sister Riley is working up top right now for the Cougars. Crossover dribbling ability nice in the midfield third by Abby Tinkle. Centering pass going off to the right side now to Haley Cox, but she runs out of room. And right now, of course, the Cougars trying to get used to that field turf here in the pitch.
That's an adjustment that's got to get made. That ball can't be played there. That ball's got to get more vertical. A horizontal ball on the turf out to into that channel is going to go out of bounds. You can't catch it. It's got to be up the field with a little touch on it.
Now left side, trying to get it over to Cox as they try to go with a nutmeg on the far side. Nice job by Hobart to drop that defensively. Now picked up in the midfield third by Jessica Young. Jessica wearing number 19 tonight instead of her normal number 2. Now midfield third on the play. Here's a shot that's knocked out of the defense as Cox got the ball towards the goal. And a good job and good decision-making there by Hannah McPherson to come up with the stop for Hobart.
And today's game is sponsored in part by the Northwest Indiana Soccer League, the leading sanctioning body for youth soccer across much of Northwest Indiana. If you're interested in soccer for your area's youth, get in touch with Northwest Indiana Soccer League at their website, nwisl.com.
Defensive third now for the Cougars as we played about 3.5 scoreless minutes of soccer. Jessica Young now in the midfield third on the play. Kankakee Valley moving from left to right on your electronic device and laptop, trying to build from back to front. Haley Cox now trying to go give and go there, and situation there where Brianna Zimmerman cut to the inside and Haley passed it to the outside.
Yeah, they weren't on the same page. Last trip down the field, though, little through ball, not really dangerous, but no hesitation whatsoever of McPherson getting off that line, swallowing that up, keeping her defenders from having to make a difficult play.
Had to shut out her first time out, coming in for Addison Funk, who's out with that concussion, and did a great job against Stephanie Deege's Michigan City Wolves, coming up with a 4-0 shutout win. Now they're going to call a foul on the play on Hobart, as Jacob Bircher says it's going to be a free kick now for the Cougars. Special thanks go out to Brent Datillo and the Datillo family for their terrific support, not only of Noah and the Hebron Hawks, but also Riley and the Cougars. Now 1v1 opportunity here for KV, coming in with a shot and a goal! The Cougars take the lead in this one as the ball found its way through the defense. The goal is going to come at 4:42 here, and the goal is going to be scored by the Cougars to take the lead. As that ball just got through the defense there. It was 1v1, and McPherson really had no chance.
None whatsoever. And you can take the player off the top line, but you can't take the top line out of the player. Reagan plays the ball into Cox, goes by her. Cox put a really nice little layoff into her. Reagan picks it up and puts it in.
So Reagan Walther gets her 4th goal of the season, and that comes in the 4th minute of the match to give the Cougars the early lead. So the Cougars, who Coach Huffnagel talked about having some trouble offensively, putting the ball in the onion sack right off the get-go here, take a 1-0 lead.
Being important for Hobart to maintain their composure here, just keep their shape and make KV work.
Emily Plezak, of course, coming from a great soccer family on the far side, was surrounded there by Cougars, which is going to result in a free kick opportunity here. The Brickies, as we mentioned, coming off the shutout of Michigan City. They also picked up a win on the road against Myra Rodriguez's Hammond Wildcats by a score of 3-0. And their schedule is very difficult with games against the Duneland teams as well as the NWCC.
Yeah, it gets real tough now.
Ball towards the near touchline. Riley Datillo trying to keep it in play, but she runs out of real estate. It'll be a Hobart throw-in. Doing the honors here on the near side will be Michaela Zutanaski. Michaela now with a ground ball attack looking for Haley Burbridge. Now it'll go all the way back into KV territory.
Keeper's got to get that.
Good job of coming out and getting that ball at the top of the 18 there by Kira Dahlgren. One of the things that Sarah Gorley talked about in the pregame, the new coach for the Hobart Brickies, John, was not to play that long ball style. Now here's an opportunity on the wing. Coming in is Riley Datillo for the Cougars. She's going to go ahead and put it close to frame, and picking it up at the 6 is Hannah McPherson.
Yeah, I don't know that the long ball, especially on this field, is never on for Hobart, but they can't play Ashley down the middle. They've got to give her balls into the channel that she can come out and run onto. That don't have those two big center backs towing around. Life gets a little easier.
Now here comes Hennifield. She's 1-on-2 right now as the Cougars try to get back defensively. No help for her up there as Ashley was trying to go on the left wing on the play, and the Cougars did a nice job there, John, in kind of collapsing on her and not giving her any opportunities.
Yeah, Sammy Tokars was isolated on Ashley there. Ashley brought it infield, which would have been a great move if she had anybody on the backside to play, but the rest of the team hadn't caught up to the play yet.
Now midfield third is a battle over there, is trying to get in there on the play is Nestich. Now a centering pass to the right side looking for Riley Datillo for the Cougars. Riley coming in now deep in Hobart territory. She puts it towards the goal, and a good job by McPherson to come out and intercept the cross. And the Henningfield family congratulates their daughter Ashley on getting back on the field and competing with the Hobart Brickies girls soccer team this season. The Henningfield family wishes head coach Sarah Gorley and the rest of the student athletes on the girls soccer team best of luck in their quest for success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference, as well as during the IHSAA tournament this season. Reagan Walther's goal in the 4th minute of the match has given the Cougars from Kankakee Valley High School the lead. We've got 32 minutes remaining here in the first half of play, and now a free kick for the Cougars.
Yeah, he let that advantage try to develop a little bit, quite a little bit, as a matter of fact, and then he brings it back and gets KV off the deck.
Jessica Young will go towards the 18 on the play as the ball is free kicked by Abby Klemp for the Cougars, and now they're going to swing it back outside on the play to Allison Tokars. Tokars trying to go to the far side, a little bit too far for Brianna Zimmerman. It will be a throw-in for the Hobart Brickies.
Yeah, ideally when you get that ball back on that left back's feet, you want that outside mid on the chalk, right? You never want to be chasing that ball toward the sideline there. outside mid's got to anticipate that a little better and get outside early.
We'll see if the Cougars decide to kind of spread the field a little bit, try to get their wingers out and work outside to end here with 31-17. Remaining in the first half, Kankakee Valley with a 1-0 lead. They're looking for more now in the midfield third. Through ball now outside the 18. Turning on the ball nicely is DeTillo, but her shot goes well past the far post. It'll be a goal kick for McPherson and Hobart. And the award-winning Superior Construction Company is located at 2045 East Dunes Highway in Gary. They specialize in the construction of public works, municipal, commercial, industrial, heavy highway, and petrochemical products. And safety comes first at Superior, as they now have over 21 million work hours over the past 15 years at BP's Whiting Refinery without a lost time incident. You can check out their website for more information on their accomplishments, products, and services at superiorconstruction.com.
You know, it's always interesting, Mike, when coaches tell you they're going to play a 4-3-3. A lot of people say they're going to play 4-3-3. Very few do. Right? If you look out there right now, that's like a 3-6-1. Right? So it's very hard as the pressure comes and the live bullets start to fly,
right,
to have the guts to leave three people high.
Now the ball outside on the play. Good job of sealing off defensively by Sam Tokars, is bringing up the rear and making the stop as Dahlgren. And now she'll kick it out. Yeah, that's an awful lot of area for those back three to cover, especially that was one of the things that Sarah Goy noticed about KV and her scouting was that they do have a lot of speed.
They do. And the speed it can really exploit you on the backside and in the channels, right? So ideally what you want to see is the ball worked early wide, or if you're advancing the ball through the middle third, that those back three have to collapse, and that really opens up the lanes into the channels and runs the legs right off your outside mids. It's a great formation, but it takes a lot of heart to play it.
Now, those six, Coach, are we looking at like a double diamond situation with maybe a three crown with one up and two back, and then reversing that to the other side as far as that six? It's not a flat, obviously.
No, it's not flat. I mean, anytime either of the outside backs goes to pressure the ball, you'll see the center of the three backs drop in and support. So
right.
So that piece never changes.
In the back line now for Hobart on the backside here, as we talked about in the pregame show, was Andrea Oros, Gina Del Grosso, along with Elena Palizzato. Is now Rosbach lost control. Good job of communicating. McPherson will kick it away as one of her defenders actually touched the ball. And now Garcia trying to get it up to Henningfield. She's surrounded by red and white right now on the offensive third. And now the Cougars come back with the counter. Abby Tinkle now trying to get a through ball on the play, and was talking to Coach Gurley before the game as well, John, and she mentioned that the Brickies were going to be trying that offside trap and hoping not to get burned, and they did on that first goal.
Yeah, I don't know so much that they were really trying to catch offsides there. I think they got surprised by the run. The backs were coming up thinking that Cox was the high player, and as Reagan went by them, they just got kind of caught napping a little bit.
28 minutes remaining here in the first half. Reagan Walther's goal has given the Cougars the lead in this one by a score of 1-0. Now they're looking in the corner on the play to Cox. Haley Cox now at the corner of the 18, goes with a cross knocked out at the defense by the Brickies. She'll try it again, and McPherson had to tip that to herself and really be alert on that laser beam by Riley Cox.
Not an ounce of tension in that kid, though. She looks solid as a rock back there.
Yeah, Haley Cox, I should say. Check that. Great job by Haley, the senior, to come up with that particular play. But, ice water in the veins for the junior netminder. Regional Radio Sports wants to thank the Hobart Soccer Club for sponsoring a portion of today's broadcast. They're home to two 3v3 national championship teams. The club wishes best of luck to head coach John Hutchins and the boys team, as well as Sarah Gorley and the girls team, in the respective quests for Northwest Crossroads Conference and postseason tournament success. Best of luck, Brickies, during the 2015 high school soccer season from the Hobart Soccer Club.
That's a corner. That's a very sloppily given away corner there. So Hobart's going to have a chance to get some people in the box, serve a good ball, and you never know.
26:49 remaining in the first half of play as Cameron Rosbach, the senior, will go into the corner, and she'll be looking for a quintet of Brickies right around the 18. And they've also got Garcia there at the 6. It's a nice corner on the play. Gets knocked up the elevator shaft, and will do it again.
And KV has struggled early on with set pieces this year. So, I mean, this is something that they'll need to tighten up. 2 in a row here for Hobart. Let's see if they vary the runs at all.
Ross Bach, the central midfield area, will go again with the corner as Henningfield takes a run there to the far side. Ashley trying to get in there for the header. Couldn't quite get there. 50-50 ball at the 6 now is knocked down. Picked back up on the play by Brianna Pardis. She had her pocket picked. And now it's knocked out of the box there by the KV defense. So Hobart with a couple golden opportunities there on the corner with 26 minutes remaining in the first half.
That was an absolutely free header. It looked like Ashley just couldn't quite get up to that ball, but she was unmarked about 8 yards in front of the net.
Trying to pick up goal number 6 on the season for the junior as she now battles up there with Plesac. Trying to go to Rossbach now in the midfield third, knocked down to the defense by the Cougars, and picked back up now in the midfield third by Riley DeTillo. Nice ball on the play in the midfield area, off to the right side and off to the races as well now is Cologne. Cologne trying to get in there. It's knocked through the defense over the near touchline, and good speed on the right side by Juliana Cologne, and a nice through ball on the right wing.
Yeah, we just need to be more patient there, though. There's no reason to send that in. You didn't have anybody up with you. Settle the ball, control it, and now build off that. You just picked up 60 yards of real estate and then gave it right away.
Now a takedown by Cox just inside the 18 is going to result in a foul here on the Cougars and a free kick for the Brickies. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department and the 19 varsity boys and girls sports that it supports and represents wishes best of luck to Kankakee Valley girls head coaches Audrey Johnson and Julian Cologne and the Lady Cougars in today's match. Best of luck to the girls on continued success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference and during the upcoming IHS AA tournament. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department also wishes head coach Jason Vanderwood and the boys team best of luck during the NWCC regular season as well. At the Crown Point sectional coming up in October, the Kankakee Valley Athletic Department says, go Cougars. Down to 24 minutes remaining here in the first half. 1-0 lead if you're just joining us. Kankakee Valley scored in the 4th minute on a goal by Reagan Walther. Now the Brickies trying to avoid the corner. Actually, they'll just let it go over the goal line, resulting in a goal kick. Good decision-making in the back line there by Alexis Charbonneau for the Brickies.
Yeah, they're doing well. And Oros there at the center back really – You could just feel the intensity out of her. She's reading the game. She knows she can't go to sleep for a minute because she's got some pretty good athletes coming at her, but she's doing a fine job so far.
Here's McPherson's goal kick now. She gets some pretty good mustard on the ball, trying to get it up to Rossbach in the midfield third. But the Cougars have the answer now with Cox. Centering pass now knocked down to the defense by the Brickies. And they will try to regroup now, moving from right to left on your electronic device and laptop. Henningfield with a good job of reversing the field, getting it over here on the play to Vivica Garcia, a sophomore, who's on the left wing tonight for Coach Gorley.
That's actually Vivica. She actually plays for me in the spring, Vivica.
A sophomore doing a great job, and she right now on the season being moved around a little bit in the midfield area. They also had her listed as well up top. She does have an assist this season.
Really, really skillful player. I really enjoy working with her. She's got a lot of skills. She can help this Hobart side. KV would do well to be a lot more patient now. The last 2 times down the field, they're playing that longer ball through the line right at the 3 center backs. Hobart would pay them good money to play that ball every time. That's what they're built to defend, right? They've got to make them do something a little bit more difficult than that.
Let's see if they can get Ashley Henningfield going here offensively. She's got the ball now in the midfield third, as they call a violation here on the Cougars, so It's going to be a nice free kick opportunity here for the Bricks.
Yep, that's a handball they called. Allie just got a little off balance there on the front. This is a tough one here.
22 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Brickies moving from right to left, dressed in their white home uniforms with the purple and yellow gold trim numbers. And right now a free kick opportunity is Vivica is over there along with Henningfield. Here's the free kick by Rossbach, and the ball went off the crossbar, off the hand there of the goalkeeper Dahlgren. They're going to call a foul on the Brickies for some contact there on Kira, but that ball certainly was up for grabs within the 6.
Shouldn't have been, but it was, and not the first time that's happened this year for KV. So they don't want to be giving up any set pieces anywhere near the box. They struggle with them.
The Henningfield family congratulates their daughter Ashley on getting back on the field and competing with the Hobart Brickies girls team this season. The Henningfield family wishes head coach Sarah Gorley and the rest of the student athletes on the girls soccer team best of luck in their quest for success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference, as well as during the IHSAA tournament this season.
So we got a set play here. It looks like another handball on KV. We're on Hobart's defensive half of the field here, so just everybody getting up and spread out.
Coming up on the halfway part here of the first half of action, good aggressive play in that back line by the Cougars, Sam Tokars, a veteran back there who's certainly been in the wars, not only during the regular season but in the postseason for this KV program. Now a nice run here by Haley Cox. Cox got by one defender. Good job of sealing her off on the outside, but the right half of that line in Gina Del Grosso. Now Vivica Garcia had her pocket picked in the midfield third. Tokars now with a nice 50-50 run. Got knocked down by the defense, settled down by Rosbach now, but picked back up by KV. Looking midfield third for DeTolo, who got a little tip on the play, but McPherson will easily come out and intercept the cross.
It's important to take the steam off these through balls, right? Because this turf everything just races to the lines. That's Hobart ball.
I'll try to see if we can maybe zoom in a little bit here. Midfield third on the play now. Vivica trying to get in there and settle that ball down. Definitely an adjustment here for KV on the turf, but so far they're doing a nice job keeping the ball down low. Nice give-and-go attack is knocked down to the defense by the Bricks. The key right there, John, it seems like the Brickies giving away possession too quickly on that back line.
Yeah, I think they'll settle down as the game grows, as long as they can keep it at 1-0. I mean, I think their confidence will grow, but I'd rather have them go ahead and get rid of that ball than play with it under pressure. If you're under pressure, that ball needs to go out of touch and you reset your D.
Out of the lineup now for the Cougars is Abby Tinkle, and coming into the lineup as the ball goes off of Dattila over the near touchline is Jessica Young. Jessica a little bit nicked up earlier in the season, but looks to be pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, I talked to Jessie before the game. She said she's 100% ready to roll. Great quickness. I mean, she's got some of the quickest feet you'll see out there tonight. She can really move.
We'll see how she does in that midfield area towards the right side along with Cologne as she puts the pressure on the Brickies right now with 18:25 remaining here in the first half of play. Midfield third, good job of settling it down by Abby Klemp. Her centering pass goes into space on the right side as Dattilo trying to get a nutmeg. Good physical play by the Brickies, who try to get it down on the play now to Cox. Cox deep in Hobart territory over to Riley Dattilo. Spinorama move at the 6. Centering pass now outside the mixer. Knocked down by Cologne, back over to Cox. But the shot goes past the near line, and it will be a goal kick for McPherson. But some nice combinations that time by the red and white.
Yeah, really nice turn by Dattilo out here in the channel. Take the ball off the end line, turns it inside, puts a beautiful ball in there in a great spot. KV just couldn't get anybody quite on it, and then it ping-pongs around and out of bounds. First really nervous defensive possession for Hobart, I think.
Cameron Rosbach now will exit the lineup for Coach Gorley, and coming back in for the Brickies off the bench now will be Alexis Charbonneau.
Yeah, and was that the third different position that Charbonneau's played already in this half?
Yeah, she was in the back line and moved her up as well, so showing her versatility out there. Now here's a steal by Cox. She tried to get it over to the right side as they tried to go with a little loop there to Dattilo, but McPherson comes out and makes the stop. And attention, Northwest Indiana, boys and girls soccer season, you can take your game to the next level with professional coaching and training at Millennium Soccer Association Vardar. Millennium Soccer Association Vardar is a premier soccer club in Northwest Indiana who fields teams for both boys and girls ages U8 through U19. They'll be holding open tryouts at the end of October for all age groups. Player and coach excellence includes 12 Indiana State finalists, 7 Indiana State semifinalists, 20 Indiana Soccer League champions. For more information about tryouts, visit their website at millenniumsoccer.org. That's millenniumsoccer.org. You can contact Vangel Nikofsky for more information, 219-577-5509, or you can send Vangel an email at fodball, that's F-O-D-B-A-L at AOL.com. That's fodball at AOL.com.
As you look at KV develop this attack, you look at Henningfield. There's not a player within 25 yards of her, and she's surrounded by 4 KV backs. That's not going to get it done.
They certainly know where the danger is present with this Bricky offensive team, as now Pardis will throw it in here on the near touchline. Brianna looking for Garcia. The pass doesn't click as Klemp now trying to get it over the offensive player, over to Cologne.
See, every time they get a throw in this half, Mike, or a set piece in this half, it gives them a chance to get bodies forward, and that's what they need to try to build on, Hobart.
Zach Kotansky now in on the right side for the Bricks. Now a nice through ball on the plate of Datillo. Beautiful one touch as they go give and go. Nicely done. Riley Datillo now in the defense at the 18, trying to get the right foot free, and the shot goes past the far post on the play, but a nice give and go that time with her along with Abby Babe, the junior for the Cougars.
Yeah, they worked it out of there from Walter out of the midfield up to Datillo. So that's a nice little combination up through there. Needed to be a whole lot more patient on that shot, though. She had nothing but goalkeeper in front of her.
The award-winning Superior Construction Company, that Superior Construction Company, is located at 2045 East Dunes Highway in Gary. They specialize in the construction of public works, municipal, commercial, industrial, heavy highway, and petrochemical products. And safety comes first at Superior. And they now have over 21 million work hours over the past 15 years at the BP Whiting Refinery without a lost time incident. Check out their website for more information on their accomplishments, products, and services at superiorconstruction.com. We're down to 14-18 remaining in the first half. The Reagan Walther goal in the 4th minute of the match has given Kankakee Valley a 1-0 lead in this one. And the Bricks right now trying to get the equalizer.
Good steal over there. Abby Babe coming through with it.
Now Datillo on the play over to Young. Back over to Riley. Datillo now with a nice one-touch in the corner looking for Cologne as Riley now will try to track it down. Good job defensively by the Brickies there as submarining and making the nice play on the defensive end was Andrea Oros, the senior.
I'll tell you what, she's been impressive. She's working hard. She had to come 30 yards for that ball, right? So as that ball advanced, she had to come a long way.
And showing some really good speed and also some physicality here on the near touchline, and did a great spinorama move and got the ball back to the offensive portion of the midfield third.
Yeah, right as Datillo about unkneecapped her.
Yeah. Now a nice slide tackle there by McPherson as Juliana Cologne tried to kind of pass it to herself and then chase it down at the 18. So far, pretty impressed with the junior McPherson.
I'm telling you.
A little bit green around the ears, so to speak, in the early going of the season and doing a good job.
She's so calm I want her doing my taxes. She looks great back there. Cool as the other side of the pillow, as they say. There you go.
Now Henningfield looking for a chip shot here to the near side as they try to get going something here. As Megan Zakatansky over here now in the offensive third for the Brickies. The ball goes over the near touchline, resulting in a throw-in for the Cougars.
My over-under on throw-ins, by the way, is 62,000.
It's certainly been to the forefront here so far in this match. 12.5 remaining, and we're going to get another one, Coach.
Now Hobart way, though.
It's going to keep
now they got to get forward.
Ball girls certainly busy out there. Bricks trail by a score of 1-0. Good midfield support here by the Brickies as they get a nice break coming up here now up the middle on the page by Paige Nestrich. Centering pass looking now for Henningfield. Ashley now with a nice ground ball attack on the play, trying to get it over on the right side through Emily Plezak, but knocked down to the defense by the Cougars, and now Datillo will distribute to the right side. Nice back check on the play by the Brickies, and now they go give and go here on the near side with Michaela Zakatansky. Trying to get it back now to Michaela, but a little bit too much pace on the ball there. Very difficult to put the proper touch there as the ball goes into the corner.
Yep, that's a challenge. Visit Christensen Chevrolet during their back-to-school sale now through August 31st. Get $1,000 to $5,250 cash back on selected Chevy models, including 2015 Spark, Sonic, Cruise, and City Express. Ask about their 0% financing and no payments until November on selected models. Christensen also offers $500 discounts for active and retired military personnel and has a large commercial truck department along with an accredited body shop. Proudly serving you since 1951, Christensen Chevrolet is located at 9700 Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. The phone number is 888-999-9141, and the website is www.christensenschevy.com.
Going to be another throw-in for the Brickies. Good job by Andrea Oros to knock the ball off the Cougars, as now wholesale change is going to be made here by coaches Johnson and Cologne, as they're going to go with a quartet now into the ball game. Exiting is going to be Emily Hamstra. Also coming out of the lineup as well for the Cougars is Jessica Young, as they make some wholesale changes right now, really changing the look of the side here. Abigail Homerich, a freshman now, number 25 in the midfield spot for the Cougars.
They had brought her in at outside mid. She'd been in since the last shift, and I'm not sure if they wanted her to tuck inside now or what. We'll see in a minute. That is a foul.
And Jacob Bircher now calls a foul on the play on the Brickies, as getting her hands caught in the cookie jar there was Nestrich. So this is going to be opportunity now for Haley Cox and the Cougars. Brickies are going to set up a four-person wall here just inside the 18, and now Jacob's probably going to move them back a yard or two.
Which might get him a chance to get that wall in the right spot.
Yeah, he's going to get him back at least about 4 or 5 paces. I was going to say that was a pretty, very close first down yardage marker there on the gridiron. Down under 10 minutes remaining. Cox now will be looking for a quartet of Cougars as she goes indirect on the play, headed past the far post by Juliana Cologne. They had a couple of red shirts right there in the path of that one.
Yeah, you had two slashing in. Datillo more to the center of the goal, and then Juliana almost on a delayed run into the backside. Neither could get a meaningful touch on the ball.
Regional Radio Sports Network wants to thank the Hobart Soccer Club for sponsoring a portion of tonight's broadcast. Home to 2 3v3 national championship teams, the club wishes best of luck to head coach John Hutchins and the boys team, as well as Sarah Gorley and the girls team, in their respective quests for Northwest Crossroads Conference and postseason tournament success. Best of luck, Brickies, during the 2015 high school soccer season from the Hobart Soccer Club.
Look at the difference in the shape of the field. Hobart gets a set piece, and all of a sudden there's 5, almost 6 players forward for Hobart. So those are opportunities that Hobart, really wants to capitalize on, and KV needs to try harder not to give them.
8:36 remaining here in the first half of play. 1-0 lead is Reagan Walther's goal, the junior, and the 4th minute of the match has given KV the lead in this one. Kind of really a not a play that looked like it was going to develop into anything in the offensive third, but evidently she was able to get past the defense and then go 1v1 with McPherson.
Yeah, it really did come a lot from nothing, but that's vision as a center mid and knowing when to take the space and get up beyond, and Reagan is one of the best at that. She sees the game very well. But remember, we're about 6 inches away from being in a 1-1 game here off that set piece.
That's right, as the ball ended up going off the crossbar.
And here's another one. Bircher seems to be tightening this down, the center ref, and he's not letting KV get away with the rough stuff. You got to wonder if they're getting a little frustrated. This is a KB team that has not hit their stride. This is a lot of fouls to give away.
Here's the free kick now on the play. It's a nice one off the head on the play at the 18 on that free kick there by Oros. And now they try to battle in the offensive third, but the Brickies can't control as Juliana Colon now with a nice run. Good job of knocking it down by Plesac, trying to get it up to Henningfield. Now Rosbach turning on the soccer ball. It's deflected, and now Ashley's got an opportunity on the 1v1 on the far side. Henningfield tried to set up a potential corner or a cross, and it went off of her as it was deflected by Cologne. Good job by Juliana to get the throw in.
Yeah, and by Vanessa Villapando, a freshman that's in there at left back now to get the initial pressure and get her stopped in turn, give Cologne a chance to catch up and double her up.
Down to 6:53 remaining in the first half. Hobart trying to get something going offensively here. Good job at changing the field, looking for Ashley on the far side. Nice seal off on the play on the backside by the Kankakee Valley defense. A trio of Brickies now is going to come in as they're going to replace all three positions in the back, the mid, and up top, as they will go to the bench right now. We want to thank the Kankakee Valley Athletic Department and the 19 varsity boys and girls sports that it supports and represents. It wishes best of luck to Kankakee Valley's girls head coaches, Audrey Johnson, along with Julian Cologne, as well as the Lady Cougars in today's match. Best of luck to the girls on continued success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference and during the upcoming IHS AA tournament. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department also wishes Coach Jason Vanderwood and the boys team best of luck during their conference season, as well as during the Crown Point sectional coming up in October. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department says, go Cougars. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first half, kind of the bewitching hour, Coach, for these teams as the humidity is still up there tonight. Even though the sun's gone down, I'm sure they're pumping the fluids on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, this is adrenaline time. And I got to think at this point, Hobart's probably a little bit more excited about how the half's gone than KV. I think they'll be encouraged to try to get this thing in the house. KV is going to be working really hard to get another.
Now Cologne runs out of real estate off the far side as Cox tried to distribute the ball on the left wing, Coach.
All right, great. And Tech Credit Union can help you get the cash you need for your home improvements, education costs, travel, and any other purpose. Unlock your home's equity with a home equity loan featuring a 3.99 annual percentage rate, 7-year repayment term, no closing costs. Best of all, with a fixed rate, your monthly payment won't change during your loan term. To learn more, visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-8324.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Coach.
Yep, lastly, Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Rates may change without notice.
Don't want to exclude that particular notice at the end there. Is good job there by Abigail Homage to come back and be able to get a shot away, but Kankakee Valley got called for a foul inside the mixer, which wiped that out, but now Homage gets it back. They tried to go with a pass down on the goal line to Datillo, and now Hobart will again go to the bench, and that'll give us a chance to thank Brent Datillo and the Datillo family for their terrific support not only of Noah and the Hebron boys team, but Riley Datillo and the Kankakee Valley girls soccer team as well. The Datillo family wishes the Hebron boys and the Kankakee Valley girls the best of luck in the regular season as well as in the postseason tournament. Down to 3.5 remaining in the first half of play. Reagan Walther's goal in the 4th minute of this one, her 4th of the season, has given KV a 1-0 lead. And the way the schedule shapes up, Coach, this is certainly a big game for both teams, as both of these teams are going to be really stepping up the competition level. Is now Cox with a through ball looking for Datillo, and a good job by McPherson as she comes out at the 6 and intercepts the cross.
Yeah, she was watching that the whole way, and as soon as that ball went in, she came out. She's clearly played some keeper before. That's not just a field player they stuck in there. She's doing a really nice job.
Now on the left side, the Brickies trying to center the ball, and they're going to get called for a handball as the pass was a little bit high there in the midfield third. So getting her hands caught in the cookie jar that time was Pardis.
You get a lot of these inadvertent handballs. I mean, by letter of the law, they're not handballs, but you get these spongy bounces off this turf, and Mr. Bircher is calling them.
Ball over the midfield stripe now with 2.5 remaining in the first half. We'll take a look at halftime at the results from last night, as well as how things are shaping up all across Northwest Indiana in standings as the conference races start to take effect here in the next couple weeks. Ball deep in KV territory. And they're now trying to work their way out of there with their back towards the defense on the play. And now they'll go right to the center midfield area. Now a steal here in the midfield third by the Brickies. Trying to get something going with Rasbach in the middle area. Good run that time being put on by number 2 for the Brickies. They changed a few of the numbers on me.
Yeah, they're mixing us up a little bit, aren't they?
Yes, they are. That might be Callista Krill, a sophomore. It's in there right now.
She had the unfortunate pleasure of running into Sam Tokars in the back there. That's a tough road.
Well, I tell you what, the Cougars certainly have the height for the set pieces in that back line, Coach. They're very tall in the back line, and that's going to definitely help them clear it out in that back third.
They do, and they're big, and they use it. You know, there's kids that have a lot of height, a lot of strength that don't use it. These kids will defend that ball in the air.
Now Krill had her pocket picked on the play by Allison Tokars. And now they're going to call another push in the back there on the Brickies with 1 minute. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. The Reagan Walther goal by the Cougars in the 4th minute, the difference in this one so far.
Just a great hustle play by Allie Tokars there.
Picked up in the midfield third now by Cameron Rosbach. Her centering pass knocked out of the defense, and now trying to get a run on the far side. Here is Krill. Her centering pass is knocked down defensively, and now Callista goes here to the near sideline. Trying to change the field on the play. Good job of coming back defensively by Tokars. She'll seal off over the near touchline, and it will be a throw-in for the Cougars.
With 30 to go, they got the ball in the box here. Let's see how KV responds.
Nice Pardis turnaround on the play. Knocked up the elevator shaft now on the double header by Abby Tinkle. And now they will let it go over the goal line off the Brickies as there was no deflection by the Cougars. And now we are down to about 10 seconds remaining in the half, and the sands of the hourglass are going to run out here on the Cougars in the Brickies. 40 minutes of action here at the Brickyard in Hobart, Indiana, in this Northwest Crossroads Conference girls matchup. The score here at the end of the first half of play, the Kankakee Valley Cougars 1 and the Hobart Brickies 0. We'll go ahead and take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the action around Northwest Indiana as well as the standings, and we'll also take a look as well as what's going to be happening here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports on the Gridiron. 40 minutes in the books here at the Brickyard, and the Kankakee Valley Cougars have 1-0 lead over the Hobart Brickies. You are watching the Northwest Indiana Girls Soccer Game of the Week on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at Arsenal Middle, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with the leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card that can help you take charge of those long-awaited projects or cover unexpected emergency needs. It not only comes with a low rate, but offers everything you need, including no annual fees, no balance transfer fees, easy cash advances at ATMs, and much more. Don't miss out on a good play. Take charge of those projects and score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Learn more and apply today at tcunet.com/credit cards.
It's always on the jump, where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine. Be
AFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Mike Knezovich, John Huffnagel, Yassine Flores, back with you here at the Brickyard in Hobart. It's a 1-0 lead for the Kankakee Valley Cougars over the Hobart Brickies. And, Coach, certainly a very interesting first 40 minutes of action here. Let's take a look at the scoring and give us some of your impressions of the first half.
Yeah, I had shots were actually pretty minimal in the game. I had KB with 2 shots on goal, Hobart with 1. A lot of that is, just not finishing on opportunities to put McPherson under a little bit more pressure. She's had her hands on the ball plenty, but a few of them have been shots. Most of them are 3 balls that she's scooping up. I had a 1 corner for KV. I might have missed one. I lost track of one in there, but I've got them for 1 in the first half. I had Hobart for 3. Fouls, I've got KV for 9 in the first half, and Hobart for 3 fouls in the first half, and just the lone goal with Reagan Walter sticking it in the net at a little past the 4-minute mark on a nice little touch in from Haley Cox. Walter getting in from the center midfield position. I have to say that as I thought about the game beforehand, and I wrote down my keys to the game for each team, the top of the list for Hobart was keep it close at halftime. And they've done exactly that. I think this has to be playing to their script. If you look over the last 6 years, Mike, since 2009, KV has won 6 straight, scored 37 goals, and allowed 3. So keeping this game close and getting it to halftime and feeling like your team shape was able to keep you in a little bit, this is a huge departure from form, and I think it's going to give the Brickies a lot of confidence in the second half. But
what can they do to get a little bit more pressure offensively and get some help from Henningfield up top?
There's really only one safe way to do it, and that is you can't give away the ball cheaply in the back, and as soon as you win possession in your defensive half of the field, the backside outside mid has got to get up and into the play, right? They've got to begin or at least get square and out to chalk. They need to find a ball that to a player that's not under immediate pressure. That gives the team time to unfold. You can see it. It's like an accordion unfolding when they get a set piece or a throw, right? Well, you can get that out of the run of play by getting the ball distributed away from pressure. If you can get it to the backside of now the whole team can sort of push up as the defense closes her down. Now you've got time, and it's that cadence, that win, get pressure off the ball as we push up the field and open up and get into our attacking shape. That takes guts. It also leaves you a little exposed in the back. So we'll see how much they're willing to throw the dice here in the second half.
They had a nice sequence there with a couple corners, and they got the one into almost on the noggin of Henningfield, just inside the 6 there, on a nice cross there. I believe that was Rosbach that threw that corner in there very nicely.
Well, you almost wonder if they – even if they just kept one up there. Ashley just needs somebody up there to play off of so that if she checks off to the ball, the center backs have to hold, and that creates pockets that you can pass into. But I'll tell you, Ali Tokars, Abby Klemp, Sammy Tokars, those are cousins, not sisters, by the way, are doing a great job in the back, and all the other kids that they brought in, along that back line. They've used several players, a freshman, Vanessa Villapando. They've brought Emily Hamstra in, who's been starting in that left back spot all year. They for me, other than set pieces, they've not put that back four KV under any pressure, and they look very settled. The set piece, a little shaky going after that ball, but other than that, has been very little drama back there.
Well, right now, the things kind of shaping up here in Northwest Indiana on both the boys and the girls side of things. We had some very limited action in Northwest Indiana last night, only about 4 games, 1 on the girls' side and 3 on the boys' side of things. But as you take a look at the way the conferences are shaping up, certainly some teams that were expected to do well, doing well, and also some surprises as well, Coach.
Yeah, on the girls' side, I think everybody's, I would say that it's a majority form kind of year so far, and then there's a piece in each conference that's very much not going to form. I think, we would have largely expected to see Valpo, Crown Point, and Lake Central, at the top of the Duneland on the girls' side. I think there's not a lot of people that would have expected Chesterton to be 1-1 in conference and 2-3 overall at this point in the season, and clearly not getting it the way they want it yet.
Yeah, they've really had a tough schedule.
They have.
Taking on Hamilton Southeastern, and of course they play in that at St. Joe Invitation. And it's a tough go for them, especially in the early part of the season. And don't forget, they lost the entire defense and their keeper from last year.
All quality players. Now, you flip it over to the NCC, and I got to argue for my NCC. Munster went to that same tournament, went 3-0, and didn't give up a goal.
Right.
And looks real good. Now, they had played their seventh game in 8 days before they lost a game. They took Argus to overtime in their invite over the weekend, scored with like 2 minutes to go in the second overtime of that thing, but gave up a goal and lost it in PKs. That's the only blemish on Munster's schedule so far, a team that looks to be absolutely loaded with talent and playing well. The NCC is wide open. I mean, I think Griffith is probably getting the least attention, and I think that's a major mistake. That is a very, very talented side, and Wally's doing a great job over there. The Andrean kids, I don't believe, have lost yet. They're 1-1 with Griffith at halftime. I got a text from my friends over there. Highland has been a bit of a civil team this year. They've had games where they've looked unbeatable. I've been able to see them play 2 or 3 times. And even within a game, first half against Lake Central on Saturday, didn't look like they were up to the speed of the game. Second half completely had to run a play against Lake Central.
It's good halftime adjustments by Gordon on that one.
Yeah, and the kids, I think, showed up with a lot more intensity. I think the NCC could be as many as a 4-team race this year. This will not be settled early, I don't think. Munster still may run the table. It's going to be a much tougher job this year than it's been before.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Munster taking on Crown Point a little bit later on. That Crown Point team is very young. A lot of freshmen and sophomores in there for Chris Mykert. And, of course, don't forget, tomorrow night they're going to be completing the suspended game that we did on Regional Radio Sports that was stopped by lightning. So that will be on Wednesday night. They will be finishing that game, the last 18 minutes of that match.
Oh, that'll be fun. Now keep in mind, that's a big, big game in that conference, the way these early games have gone. That gives you a 1-game lead over one of the undefeated teams in the conference. So that's a big momentum changer. And the Lowell Red Devils just played Crown Point to a 1-0 game last week.
Yep.
So just think about the power shift that's going on here and how things seem to be leveling out across the region and across both of the big 2 conferences.
Let's bring on Ken Anderson right now real quick, Coach, because I want to get I always do that to you. You know that, Ken.
I just carried everything in the world in it. That's up 85 stairs.
Standard operation procedure. Once you do get your breath caught up, Ken, I'd like to get a little report on what happened over there at Hebron. The Hawks had the lead at the half, 1-0 in that one. And how did the Wolves fare in the second half?
Well, just when you thought that the game was pretty much over, Serber scored a goal about 8 minutes into the second half to make it 2-0, and you thought it was pretty much done. And what happened was 30 seconds later, David Ooms scored a nice goal off of Perez's assist from midfield. And then it still looked like it was over. I mean, Hebron really carried the play. And then with about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, once again, Perez had an opportunity from midfield to take a kick. In fact, it wasn't Perez that took it. It was the other Matt, 12 and 13, or 13 and 14.
Right.
Yeah, Matt Wright.
Yep.
He took the kick. And just a cardinal mistake by the Hebron defense. They let a ball not get touched in the air. They let it bounce in the middle of the area. Ooms got in behind the defense, and with his back to the goalie, Fierro had no chance. He went for the bicycle kick and absolutely nailed it. Maybe the prettiest goal I've ever seen in high school. Coach Sherwin told us afterwards, he goes, I don't know in your mind's eye what that looked like, but it was prettier to us. And it really wasn't. Thank goodness from where our vantage point was, on that Hebron field, it was right in front of us and the goal in front of us. So we got to see it 15 yards away from us. It was unbelievable that he even attempted it. Second off, it's unbelievable that it wasn't a dangerous play because really there was nobody around him. So it couldn't have been. And third off, I mean, Fierro just froze and he just drilled it in the back of the net. He completed a complete somersault or backflip to do it. It was amazing because Ohms he's a sturdy kid. I mean, he's not the physical size that you would think would take that kind of shot. Anyways, 2 overtimes. It ended 2-2. 2 overtimes, and then they go to PKs. And in the PK round, first three shots for Boone Grove. Boone Grove shot first. Ooms went up and nailed his. Next 2 shooters nailed theirs. And then Hebron comes up, nails their first 2. Serber nailed the first one. And then Hebron hits it off of the crossbar, and it's called back. And the player is allowed to re-kick at 24. He was allowed to retake the kick for
that
Hebron.
Was Doling.
Doling, and it looked like a little home cooking there. You know, I mean, the AR said, no, the keeper came off the line, which was an interesting deal. So he retakes the kick to try and tie it 3-3, does the exact same thing. I mean, hit the exact same post. Exact same post in the exact same place, had the keeper beat, hits it again. Anyways,
now an opportunity for Hobart. Sorry, Ken, on the far side is Plezak had a nice centering pass, so go ahead.
So they get to the fourth kicker, and both mats went third and fourth for Boone Grove, and they both bagged both of theirs. So Boone Grove's up 4-2 with the fourth kicker, and they send up the freshman, Danilo. And he hits nothing but the back of the net. I mean, they called him for going too early. So he had to retake it, and this freshman stood up and just bagged it. So now it's 4-3, and the last kicker is going to come up for Boone Grove, and they send up Rocha.
Yep, Austin, yep.
He hits nothing but the back of the net, and Boone Grove goes crazy. They get out of there. They were outplayed in the game. They had less chances in that game. In that game, both teams were exhausted at the end, but Boone Grove gets out of there with a conference win.
Wow.
In a double overtime, a shootout. So
that is just a huge win for Brian and his team, and certainly is going to really make that race topsy-turvy, and certainly revenge for Boone Grove after being eliminated earlier in the tournament. Now Cologne's pass goes off of Datillo just outside the 18. So evidently Riley's brother Noah had some ice water in the veins. Over there
he was actually named the Centaur Bank Player of the Game for Hebron, and then on the Boone Grove side, Ohms. I mean, you couldn't do it anybody else. He made his PK. He was the first PK. He scored both goals in regulation. So he was the player of the game for the Boone Grove side. But I think Boone Grove feels it almost looked going into the overtime that they really were playing for the PKs, and I understand that whole thought process. Trust me.
Thanks, Ken. Really appreciate.
All right, anytime I'm going to be never out of breath on air again. I got to get fit.
Thanks to you and Vince for doing that too for us. Really appreciate that. Sounds good. Thanks again, Ken.
All right, we'll see
you. Yep. So I went to PKs. Wow. So KV now with a 1-0 lead, and this one is Riley tries to make up for the disappointing loss for brother Noah and the Hebron Hawks. But, boy, what an exciting match that must have been, John.
Oh, that sounds crazy. I would have loved to seen that goal. I wish you were videotaping that one.
Here we're 35-14 remaining in the match, and, of course, that is in regulation because this is a conference matchup, so we would go to overtime and PKs if necessary. But the Brickies got to get something going offensively. It looks like they're starting to push that midfield up a little bit here, Coach.
Yeah, they have. They've gotten better shape going forward. I love what Coach is doing here, and the kids are showing really good attitude, but they're really vulnerable on the counter here. They got to be careful.
Cologne with a feed over to Datillo. Ball gets just past Juliana, or she would have had a nice counter coming up the near sideline. Juliana's throw-in now knocked down to the defense. Picked up in the midfield third by Haley Cox, who tries some physical play. Intercepted now back over to Haley. Haley crossover dribbling ability at the 18. Comes in, gets the right foot free. Good defensive play by Brianna Partis for the Bricks, and then scooped up by McPherson.
Is that Partis back there? We are a long way
Or it's
from
Oros.
the field.
Could be
I think
Oros.
That's still Oros.
Yeah, that's Oros. Yeah, Partis just got the ball there. Yep. So that is Andrea in that back line. Want to give credit due where credit is due.
You notice the space that when KV gets it forward now, there's a lot more space around the ball. So, I mean, that's the gamble, right?
Nestich now will go with the throw-in here on the near touchline on the play. Knocked down defensively as now Plezak gets caught in a Cougar sandwich. The ball goes off the Brickies. It'll be another throw-in for Kankakee Valley. And Jacob is going to make her go back to the spot where the ball went over the touchline. And now the Cougars will go to the bench. Albert's Jewelers wants your old gold and diamonds. Clean out your jewelry box and trust Albert's to give you the largest payout for diamonds of all sizes and quantities, along with broken chains, unmatched earrings, vintage watches, class rings, gold and silver rings and coins, and out-of-style jewelry. They also offer loans on your jewelry, diamonds, and watches up to $100,000. Find out for yourself why Albert's Jewelers has been voted the best in the region by the Times for 20 years in a row. They have 2 locations to serve you at 711 Main Street in Cherville and the South Lake Mall in Maryville. For more information, call the Maryville store, 219-769-1976. For more information, you can also call the Cherville location at 219-322-2700 or visit our website at albertsjewelers.com. And now we are going to have a Reagan Walther corner kick.
Oros saving the day there because she came over and shut down the ball. There were 2 players on the backside completely unmarked.
Ball gets by Rossbach on the play, and now Cameron with a good job of getting it up on the play to Henningfield, and now the Brickies come back on the counter. Good job by Cologne coming back as they try to get it over to Ashley. Knocked down easily at the defense there. But I tell you what, Sam Tokars is just such a great presence there for KV in that back line, Coach.
She is the boss. She's the Ditbuckus of this team. You know, if it gets to that level, that's probably as far as it's going. Uh-oh.
Now Henningfield crossover dribble at the 18, trying to get the left foot free, get some help on the play from Rossbach. They try to get it back over to Ashley as now Plezak joins the fray. Just outside the 18 now as the Brickies get Pardis involved now. Brianna now from her offensive central midfield position drops it off nicely, but too many red and white jerseys.
Boy, I'd like to see Ashley go ahead and rip a shot there. Just try to get that ball under control and put that KV goalkeeper under pressure. She hasn't had much to do since she bobbled that free kick. I think Ashley wants to look for a way to get that thing on the frame any way she can.
31-26 remaining in regulation, 1-0 lead for KV over Hobart. Juliana Cologne now will go back to the midfield third on the play to Reagan Walther. Walther now as Cougars moving offensively from right to left. Nice play by Datillo over to the far side to Bree Zimmerman. Zimmerman now off the far side on the play as they look for Abby Klemp. Centering pass knocked down defensively by the Brickies. Good chest trap attempt there on the far side by Abby Tinkle. And now picked back up in the midfield third by the Cougars. Looking give and go now. The Brickies trying to stay onside. Or actually the Cougars trying to stay onside is now back as Oros. As she'll just let the momentum of the ball go back to the box.
I don't think it's going to make it.
Yeah, she's going to look for some help. Good job by the midfielder to get back and give her a safety valve. Brickies now come back on the counter. Hobart doing a much better job building from the defense to the offense this half.
No question about it, much better. And I'm going to tell you something. That might have been a little sign of fatigue. That ball was never going to make it to the end line, and Oro stood there by herself on that ball for 6, 8, 10 seconds. You got to keep your eye on what's going on with KV. These starters for KV have played a ton of minutes, very few substitutions.
Abby Babe now will exit the lineup for coaches Cologne and Johnson. The junior takes a seat. Cox has certainly had yeoman's work up top with a nice spinorama move. She'll look for Datillo at the 18, trying to spin it wide now to Haley. Here's her cross. It was deflected by the Brickies. It'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. 10 minutes gone here in the second half of play. Reagan Walther's goal early in this one gave the Cougars the lead. And now Haley Cox trying to go with a right foot corner here. She's got a quartet of teammates at the 18, including Juliana Cologne. Nice shot on the play. It goes directly into the goal. Haley Cox went directly into the low 90 far side as Henningfield was anticipating a cross, and she gets the goal on the play. It will come at the 50-38 mark of the match, and the Cougars have doubled up their lead. Now they lead 2-0.
Well, I was looking how they were so concerned about covering the backside. They didn't have anybody in that sort of between the near post and the 6 area where, you always want at least one body.
Yep.
And just hit a hot skipper in there, took one hot bounce off the turf, and in it went.
Yeah, usually they have somebody in that near post areas you talked about, Coach, just kind of playing a little center field there, but they were man-marking everybody. And ended up opening up Cox for her first goal of the season.
Yeah, she's not gotten on track yet, but that maybe once they come, sometimes the dam's open, so you never know.
Yeah, she certainly has shown some great dribbling ability in that offensive third tonight, and finally gets the payoff with her first tally of the year. So Hobart now with a daunting task, down by 2, and we'll see now if they can get something going here with Cameron Rosbach. She's up there with Plezak along with Henningfield trying to get something going offensively. We're down to 28:33 remaining in regulation. Cougars now deep into Hobart territory. It's a nice run by Cologne to the front of the goal. Off the left side now Datillo, and good physical play back there by the Brickies. Centering pass now in the midfield third as Walther picks up the loose ball with her laser beam shot knocked down, and now Partis comes back on the counter. Long centering pass looking for Henningfield, and look at that. They got 3 Cougars back with her, shattering her all the way.
Yeah, I mean, Hampshire was sort of leaning out to this way, but you had both Tokars, Allie and Sam, just sitting right there on her hip. They need to play her balls into the channel. I mean, she's going to be one giant bruise if she keeps getting the ball there with her back to goal.
She's 1-on-3 right now looking for some help. Knocked down by the defense, and now Juliana Cologne will headman it out of her own zone with 27:38 remaining. Nice job by Cox to keep the ball in play, but Plezak now has the counter as they try to go down the near sideline. Deep into Cougar territory. Good job of just buying herself some time there on the defensive end by the Cougars, number 29, Allison Tokars.
Allie Tokars, I think somebody that it's good to see her out there in a starting lineup. She's been absent from a lot, and I think she's got a lot of what this team needs. She needs to be getting more minutes for this team for just those kinds of plays.
Certainly showing some great size as well as agility in the back line for the co-coaches. Under 27 minutes remaining in this one.
That's just wasteful. They just slammed that right into the middle on a set piece. They needed to build that.
Let's see if they can correct that issue on the play. We always talk about 75% of the total scores coming from those set pieces in football. Now in the back line, the Brickies do a good job of clearing it out of harm's way, but Cologne settles it down. Now Nestich with a good job of back-checking for the Brickies. They get it up now on the play to Emily Plezak. Beautiful crossover dribbling ability, and a nice headman as Henningfield now tries to stay onside. Henningfield now 1v1 off the right wing. Ashley comes in. Nice through ball on the play. Midfield area, and a worm burner is stopped on the play by Dahlgren for the Cougars.
Tell you, Ashley Henningfield is a smart player. I mean, we just talked about it up here, and now she says, forget that. I'm coming outside. I'm going to get the ball in some space and create, and that was a really good chance.
Good job of distributing there to Brianna Partis by the striker for the Brickies. Very unselfish player, getting our team a chance. They say that 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in the game of soccer. We'll see if it plays out here tonight.
I'd rather have it than not.
That's right. You'd rather take your chances on that, right, Coach?
Absolutely, every time.
Jessica Young now back in there in the midfield third for the Cougars. Now Riley Datillo causing some headaches for the Hobart defense, but it goes off of her. Actually, no, off the Brickies. It'll be a throw-in now for Kankakee Valley.
Now, Oros's getting stranded out there. She comes out and makes that play.
Ball goes over the goal line off the noggin of the Cougars, Coach. Check that. It's going to be a corner.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't either. I thought it went off the Cougars, but Haley Cox will get a chance here on a corner with Jessica Young and company up there just outside the 6 for the red and white.
They need to drop one more player down. There we go.
Zimmerman now coming up strong as well. Centering pass headed past the near post by Abby Klemp. That was certainly a great strike.
Absolutely.
On the soccer ball. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department and the 19 varsity girls and boys sports that it supports and represents, which is best of luck to Kankakee Valley girls head coaches Audrey Johnson and Julian Cologne and the Lady Cougars in their today's match. Best of luck to the girls on continued success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference and during the upcoming IHSAA tournament. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department also wishes Jason Vanderwood and the boys team best of luck during the NWCC regular season, as well as at the Crown Point Sectional coming up in October. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department says go Cougars. .24 minutes remaining in the match. 2-0 lead for Kankakee Valley on goals by Reagan Walther and Haley Cox. Hobart looking to cut this lead in half right now. They've had a little bit more possession in the offensive third in the second half.
The first 10 minutes, they definitely showed flashes, and
we'll see if Charbonneau can get something going now as it's headed out of there by Juliana Colon for the Cougars. They do settle it down on the play, but Plesac's pass is errant as they tried to go off the right side to Brianna Pardis.
The numbers up again, though. I mean, they're there you go.
Pardis now with a nice job of distributing to the outside, but the ever-present Sam Tokars is there. And now Jessica Young will come back on the counter for the Cougars.
Good step there by 33.
And that is Meredith Kurtro, a junior, in the lineup now. But here's Haley Cox. She's got the DeTillo right in front of the goal. Instead, she puts it on frame, and McPherson makes the easy stop.
Boy, she had two runners there. If she hits the brakes, Oros is in the parking lot, and she can pick out anybody she likes.
Yeah, Andrea certainly had the speed going there. It would have been very difficult to stop her momentum on that play. The award-winning Superior Construction Company at 2045 East Dunes Highway in Gary specializes in the construction of public works, municipal, commercial, industrial, heavy highway, and petrochemical products. And safety comes first at Superior, as they now have over 21 million work hours over the past 15 years at the BP Whiting Refinery without a lost time incident. Check out their website for more information on their accomplishments, products, and services at superiorconstruction.com.
Okay, set piece for KV here, about the right just short of the 30, so a long way out.
Gets through the defense. DeTillo with a one-timer, and she buried it. Riley DeTillo got the deflection on the play off the free kick, and the goal will come at 58-12, and that puts a little bit of icing on the cake as the Cougars now take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Cardinal, the hardest thing about a set piece like that, you cannot let it, especially on turf, you cannot let it hit. Somebody's got to attack that ball in the air. It squeezed through, and Riley just wanted it more than everybody else. Got to the ball first and squeezed it by the keeper.
I'm trying to see there, John, who took that free kick.
That was Cox.
Okay, so Cox will get the assist on that one, so she's got a goal and an assist tonight, and she certainly is bidding for our Centier Bank Performer of the Game. Midfield third, 50-50 ball as Henningfield trying to get something going. Now knocked down in defense by the Bricks as Alexis Charbonneau will bring it up. Now they try to go off in the corner on the play. They're trying to get something going off the far side with Callista Krill as we approach the halfway part here of the second half. Nice reverse header over there by Rosbach. And now Henningfield causing some headaches for the Cougars, but they're able to break out of there. Beautiful ball here to the near sideline on the play. And now once again on the near sideline causing some issues on the play was Cox as she gets the pass on the play from Babe. Cox with a deflected shot off the defender. And McPherson had to certainly adjust on that one to make a nice save.
Yeah, you bet. And that whole play starts from what I think it's at least a two-horse race for player of the game, because Sammy Tokars started with that ball in the right back corner, plays that thing all the way out to the left side and starts a break. And it couldn't quite finish, but really nice vision.
Yeah, just those little things that a defenseman does that certainly sometimes don't get noticed because their name doesn't get into the box score as much.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's another play. That ball gets through there. Henningfield's in, but Sam's in perfect position, 2 steps over, closes the lane down, and picks it off.
Rosbach now deflects it to the midfield third as we're halfway through the second half. KV with a 3-0 lead as they've doubled their goal output of the season. Now off the far side on the play. Trying to get something going are the Bricks, and right now the Cougars just sealing off with a nice physical play, and they avoid the corner nicely on the right fullback position.
That's good patience over there by Brianna.
So free kick now for the Cougars, and Regional Radio Sports Network wants to thank the Hobart Soccer Club for sponsoring a portion of tonight's broadcast. They're home to 2 3v3 national championship teams. The club wishes best of luck to head coach John Hutchins and the boys team, as well as Sarah Gorley and the girls team in their respective quest for Northwest Crossroads Conference and postseason tournament success. Best of luck, Brickies, during the 2015 high school season from the Hobart Soccer Club, as that shot is saved on the play by McPherson off a nice shot by Abby Babe.
Actually, that was
Reagan
Walther.
Reagan Walther, okay.
Yep. Kind of, what's going on here? That's going to be another Hobart free kick.
18:50 remaining in the match as they will move it to the central midfield area on the play. The Bricks continuing to work from left to right on your electronic device and laptop. The Kankakee Valley Cougars in the opposite direction. And now Henningfield with their back to the offense looking for Brianna Pardis and company. Knocked down now at the midfield third on the play as the Bricks try to gain control. Also in there as well as Michaela Zakatansky. And now Riley DeTillo brings it up on the right side. She's got Cox right there. And a good job by McPherson recognizing the runner for the Cougars. And she comes out and she'll make the stop.
And Automasters supports their community by sponsoring a portion of today's game. They're located at 6817 Calumet Avenue in Hammond. And they're an ASE-certified repair shop specializing in electrical, computer, brakes, shock repair, and tune-ups. Automasters also does towing. For information and to schedule an appointment, give Automasters a call at 931-2702. We're right in your neighborhood.
Haley Cox now with a nice spinorama move looking on the play for Babe. But Abby certainly is not going to catch up with that runaway ball as it goes well over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick here for McPherson, and that'll give us an opportunity again as players come in for both Hobart and KV respectively. DeTillo will exit the lineup.
Looks like that's Natalie Fox. Nope, that's Shannon Urbano coming in for KV.
Again, special thanks to Brent DeTillo and the DeTillo family. You heard Ken Anderson talk about a nice job by Noah during the PK session for the Hebron boys team. And Riley DeTillo certainly making her presence felt out here today with a goal at 58-12, her fourth of the season. Want to thank Brent and the DeTillo family for their terrific support of Hebron boys soccer as well as KV girls soccer here on Regional Radio Sports. Cougars right now pretty much playing that 4 flat in the back with the 3-goal margin. They're certainly not going to let anybody for the Brickies get between them and their netminder back there, Kira Dahlgren.
When you look at it, it's just constantly a 4v2 game now with the 4 being KV's backs. And unless they can get something to reset play, Hobart, that is.
Now midfield third, nice ground ball attack here is Kankakee Valley working it nicely on the play with Shannon Urbano. Urbano now to Cox. Ground ball attack is intercepted at the defense by the Brickies, but good midfield support now on the play by number 25. That's Abby Homrich. Homrich now will just go back. They'll just take their sweet time up by 3 with 16 minutes remaining in the match. Now Tinkle. Back to play. Good job by Zimmerman now as the Cougars doing a good job of keeping their shape in the back line.
Yeah, and the way Hobart's dropping off, they can use these backs to play keep away, as much as they want, draw them out, and then make them vulnerable. But if they keep collapsing, they can play the backs all day.
Going to be a throw in now for Hobart deep in their defensive third is now Gorley again will go to the bench for Hobart, trying to get that combination in the midfield third. Charbonneau now will take a break. She's been playing in all thirds of the field tonight.
She ever.
And also in as well now is Haley Burbrich again, the senior. She joins up with Ashley Henningfield up top.
Yeah, I wondered if they might go to more of a two-striker look. No, it looks like they're staying in the same shape.
Cox runs out of real estate on the goal line, resulting in a throw-in for Hannah McPherson, getting her second start here after the injury early in the season to Addison Funk.
Yeah, and score notwithstanding, I think you have to give a big hat tip to Hannah. She's done a terrific job in there. I thought she's done everything you could ask her to do. That last goal, she had no chance on the set piece. The corner, that's really not necessarily just the goalkeeper's responsibility. She made a lot of really tough plays so far in the match under tough circumstances.
Yeah, they were trying to match up everybody man for man on that corner and didn't have any coverage for her on the near post. And now they're going to call a clip on the play on the Cougars, resulting in a free kick here for the Brickies. Attention, Northwest Indiana elite boys and girls soccer players. You can take your game to the next level with professional coaching and training at Millennium Soccer Association Vardar. Millennium Soccer Association Vardar is a premier soccer club in Northwest Indiana. They field teams for boys and girls ages U8 through U18. They'll be holding open tryouts at the end of October for all age groups. Player and coach excellence includes 60-plus players moving on to play college soccer in the last 5 years, professional coaches who are USSF licensed, and 7 Indiana state champions. For more information about tryouts, you can visit their website, www.millenniumsoccer.org. You can contact Vangel Nikofsky, 219-577-5509, or you can send Vangel an email at fodball@aol.com. That's FODBAL at AOL.com.
Got our first final in from around the region, Mike. The Chesterton Trojans, the Lady Trojans, have beaten Maryville 4-0.
So good job by Jason Conway and the kids to be able to right the ship and pick up win number 3 on the season. And they certainly have the talent level to be able to come up to the forefront. Is now Rosbach with a nice centering pass, Henningfield with a shot and a goal! Terrific job by the Brickies on the one touch there as Cameron was able to get it to Ashley between the 18 and the 6. The goal will come at 67:02, and the Bricks are on the board. They break the shutout, and they now trail it 3-1. What a play.
You know, my age is showing. I couldn't pick up the number, but, I mean, beautiful job, beautiful finish by Ashley. But the ball into her had that feather touch and was – really deserves the assist and a lot of credit. I wish I could have picked up the number.
It was Cameron.
Was it?
Yep. And it's the 6th goal of the season for Ashley Henningfield, the junior. And a terrific job there by Cameron Rosbach to get the assist on that play.
Really nice movement. I just wanted to say a minute before, Ashley had just come back in off the bench and looked like they had plugged her in over there. She looked fresh and ready to roll.
So for Cameron, she picks up her first assist of the season. And now let's see if that gives a little bit of spark in the step of the Brickies as they tried to set up a corner there, but it'll be a goal kick for Dahlgren and the Cougars.
I'll tell you what, after watching that, you might want to think about bringing Rosbach in, playing her a little bit more through the middle and giving her a chance to hook up with Ashley in there.
That was certainly a nice one-touch there, and she did a good job of going 1v1. A lot of players would panic in that situation and not wait like Ashley did, but she just waited and picked her spot.
And finished it lefty, too, which you always like to see. That's the old coach in me, I guess.
6th goal of the season for the striker for the Brickies. And now I think they want a reset now on the clock with 12:55 and counting remaining here in the ball game. KV with a 3-1 lead over the Hobart Brickies. Again, special thanks go out to the Henningfield family. They congratulate their daughter Ashley on getting back on the field and competing with the Hobart Brickies girls soccer team this season. The Henningfield family wishes head coach Sarah Gorley and the rest of the student athletes on the girls soccer team best of luck in their quest for success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference, as well as during the IHSAA tournament this season.
Don't know what the issue was with the clock. They're still struggling to get it reset. I think there's going to be just under.
I don't know if they did anything there.
No,
or not.
they didn't. They let another 30 seconds run off, and I'm not sure what that accomplished.
So 3-1 lead now for the Cougars as the Brickies look for more now in the midfield third on the play. Knocked down to the defense by Kankakee Valley. Up the elevator shaft on the counter there by Zach Gotansky. And a one-touch now by Rosbach as she's starting to feel it now in the midfield third.
Yeah, they're playing her right underneath Ashley, which I think is a great move. She can pick up some of those second balls and look to combine and get in with Ashley. So that's definitely Hobart's best chance. KV's got to answer by releasing one of those center backs onto her.
Still a lot of soccer to be played here with 11.5 remaining. And if the Brickies are able to get it within one, that would certainly make life interesting here.
Absolutely.
So throw in off the far side now by Hobart. Skip pass looking for Brianna Pardis. Intercepted by the Brickies in the midfield third on the play. And now they let it go, and that's going to result in a counter now for Klemp and the Cougars. Abby cannot keep it in bounds. Too much pace on the ball.
But how about that effort, huh? I mean, here we are in the 70th minute, and Klemp was full sail Spinnaker up.
She certainly had the afterburners on there. That wind is favoring Kankakee Valley here in the second half, starting to come out a little bit more off the south. Meanwhile, exiting will be Shannon Urbano for the Cougars as Jessica Young comes back in at a midfield spot here for the Cougars.
Almost back to a starting 11 here for KV, the lone exception being Abby Hamrich out here at left back.
So now they will go with a throw-in from Haley Cox. Throw in now into the corner looking for Juliana, or check that DeTillo along with Cologne, but it goes off the Cougar duel, resulting in a throw-in here for the Brickies. And the award-winning Superior Construction Company is located at 2045 East Dunes Highway in Gary. They specialize in the construction of public works, municipal, commercial, industrial, heavy highway, and petrochemical products. And safety comes first at Superior's. They now have over 21 million work hours over the past 15 years at the BP Whiting Refinery without a lost time incident. Check out their website for more information on their accomplishments, products, and services at superiorconstruction.com.
Yeah, now's the time in the game that, I'm sure the Hobart coaching staff is hoping that they gave these ball girls a really nice snack because they need them working hard.
They have been really going up and down the sidelines all evening long. Cox now will settle it back down over to Walther. Reagan's got one of the three goals. Tried to go on the play to DeTillo, but the play did not quite connect. It'll be a goal kick for McPherson and the Hobart Brickies.
Yep, just a hot little bounce, stayed down under her feet and went right through. It was the right idea. They had it going there. They had them 2v1 in the middle of the park.
Coach, if you can find a Tauber Law Offices there, we'd love to thank Rhett Tauber and his terrific support over the years. But first of all, we got to talk about Riley DeTillo. DeTillo outside the 18th, spinorama move, got the right foot free, shot knocked down at the Hobart defense. They'll try to avoid the corner, and they do so as now they'll come out off the far touchline, and now we can thank the Tauber Law Offices.
Yeah, and Regional Radio Sports wants to thank the Tauber Law Offices at 1415 Eagle Ridge Drive in Cherville for their continued support of student athletes. They practice general, civil, and trial law in all state and federal courts, specializing in personal injury, wrongful death, real estate, corporate, wills and probate, family, divorce, and criminal law. They also service the trust, estate, and business planning needs of their clients. Call Tauber Law Offices today for all your legal needs at 219-865-6666.
Now Jessica Young doing the tightrope walk here on the near sideline, tipped over the near touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars as once again they'll go to the bench and also milk some time off the clock here. Exiting lineup for coaches Johnson and Cologne will be number 25, Abby Homich.
And we're going to move Jesse Young back to this left back spot and run Abby through the center of the midfield. Abby Tinkle.
Haley Cox trying to get a corner, but boy, that was just a terrific job defensively there by the Brickies to avoid the corner.
Yeah, good effort. These kids have not given up one bit.
Yeah, Sarah's going to turn this program around. It's going to take a little bit of time. And that was certainly a great effort by Emily Plezak. Comes from a terrific soccer family. Of course, her older brother, a part of that big upset by over Portage in the sectional on the boys' side of things last year.
Boys really have got it turned around here, don't they?
They certainly do. They had a little hiccup in the road with a loss earlier this week, but John has got them playing some great soccer with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, good for them.
Down to 7 minutes remaining in the match. 3-1 lead for the Cougars, as now Young will get it into Cologne. Juliana with a nice job of sealing off Pardis on the play, but Brianna is able to back check. And Cologne now continuing to keep it on the near touch line, and now she'll follow up on the play with that great speed. Trying to get a potential corner, can't get it done, as Jacob Bircher says it'll be a goal kick here for McPherson and the Brickies. And the Kankakee Valley Athletic Department and the 19 varsity boys and girls sports that it supports and represents, they wish best of luck to the Kankakee Valley girls head coaches Audrey Johnson and Julian Cologne and the Lady Cougars in tonight's match. Best of luck to the girls on continued success in the Northwest Crossroads Conference and doing the upcoming IHS AA tournament. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department also wishes Coach Jason Vanderwood and the boys team best of luck during the Northwest Crossroads Conference regular season, as well as at the Crown Point Sectional coming up in October. The Kankakee Valley Athletic Department says go Cougars.
Got a final in from the Griffith and Drain game on the girls' side. 1 second. Let me just.
It was 1-1 last time we checked in there.
It was indeed. That was at the half. It ends up 3-1 Griffith.
Wow, that's a huge win for Wally.
It is. And, boy, does that snug up the old conference,
yep.
right?
Was that at the Boneyard, or was that at
the Boneyard, right.
Okay, so that was on the turf. So the first loss of the season for the Niners. And they have had some great play this season from Hirose along with Nowesnik.
Yeah,
and,
Tazic
yep.
and Hannah Sarasi, really a big contributor.
Yeah, no doubt. So, of course, you talked about that Griffith team, and when you're talking about Michelle Beck and some of the talent that they have over there.
Well, and her sister Bridget, back in the goal. I mean, that's a talented team that I'm surprised they got as little attention as they did early on by some of the local papers. But
they're not deep, but they certainly do have the talent in the spots that you need to have spots, as long as they stay healthy.
Well, I got news for you, Mike. I mean, I've seen almost all the teams play at least once now. There's not many deep teams in the region right now. I mean, this is going to be the prizes are going to go to the best teams with the best 13, 14 players.
Right.
That's about it.
And conditioning will certainly come to the forefront. Now Datillo worms her way up. She got taken down on the play. And let's see now what Jacob is going to call here. Wow. That was right in PK land, but he's going to say it was just outside the box.
That is a charity call.
Yeah, I thought that one looked like it was about 3 yards in. But
I mean, that's a full surfboard inside the area.
So here's the kick now for Haley Cox. It'll be right to the left here in McPherson. She goes with a worm burner. It's deflected over the goal line on the play by Young and the Cougars. And that's going to result in a goal kick, or no, it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, the defender did a nice job getting in there. The ponytail's obscuring the number, but the Hobart defender did a good job. I think that was Bree Zimmerman getting across to the near post, trying to get a touch on that.
Here's the cross on the play now. McPherson stays put. Header goes over the crossbar on the play by Riley Datillo. And it'll be a goal kick for McPherson with 3:30 remaining in the match. KV leading by a score of 3-1. And once again, we want to thank Brent Datillo and the Datillo family for their terrific support of student athletes in Northwest Indiana. Brett, certainly a sponsor not only of Hobart, of Hebron boys soccer, but also KV girls soccer, wishing best of luck to Noah and the Hawks this season, as well as Riley and the Cougars in their quest for PCC, NWISC, and Northwest Crossroads Conference championships this year. Once again, Ken Anderson came in with the report as Boone Grove with an upset over the Hebron Hawks as they win the game in PKs officially by a score of 3-2. And now trying to put some icing on the cake are the Cougars here, but Hobart has the answer defensively. Now Juliana Cologne looking for Datillo, does a good job of back-checking. The Brickies trying to come with the counter. And now Cologne will get it, but can't keep it from going over the near touchline.
I'll tell you, the center back there, Oros, she has been outstanding tonight. Almost single-handedly keeping this game within reach for the Brickies.
She's got good physical presence back there. Has certainly been able to use her speed as well in that back line.
It's fun seeing Abby Tinkle play up in that center of the midfield for KV. What a physical presence she is in there. That's a big center back out there with the skills to play center mid.
And she was able to get that ball off the right foot of Haley Cox, who was bidding for her second goal of the game. but a little bit too much air under the soccer ball. And attention, Northwest Indiana elite boys and girls soccer players. You can take your game to the next level with professional coaching and training at Millennium Soccer Association Vardar. Millennium Soccer Association Vardar is a premier soccer club in Northwest Indiana. They field teams for both boys and girls ages U8 through U19. They'll be holding open tryouts at the end of October for all age groups. Centering pass to Datillo, one-timer and a save on the play by Hannah McPherson. Nicely done. The Millennium Soccer Association features 12 Indiana State finalists, 7 Indiana State semifinalists, and 20 Indiana Soccer League champions. For more information about tryouts, visit their website at www.millenniumsoccer.org. You can also contact Vangel Nikofsky, 219-577-5509, or you can send him an email at fodball, that's F-O-D-B-A-L at AOL.com. That's fodball at AOL.com. And now you've got an injury timeout on the field.
Yeah, we're not do not adjust your set. Yeah, that was Orals making yet another great play on the goal line, but we've got a young lady down here in the left flank. Looks like she rolled her ankle as she stopped to plant. .59 seconds left. We've got it took 77 minutes, Mike, but we've got a score over at well, you know what? I'm not sure where they're playing that game, but the Highland Lowell game, is that at Highland or is that over at Lowell?
You know what? I have to look at my schedule.
I think that's
there,
at
Coach.
Highland today. Okay. Morgan Pickens just scored with about 3 minutes to go in the game. It's 1-0 Highland.
Yeah, I tell you, Lowell has certainly played some of the top teams in the conference tough so far. That is Elena Polizzato that's down right now. She's a freshman at that left fullback position for the Brickies, and thank goodness she's able to get up underneath her own power.
She's moving well, and boy, you know, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that was one of the big question marks. That freshman has done a whale of a job back there. That's a tough job.
Yeah, you got Oros along with Del Grosso and Polizzato back there, and that back line for the Brickies. Corto's also seen some action in that back line as well. We're down to less than 1 minute remaining now, 59 ticks of the clock remaining here, and the Kankakee Valley Cougars are going to pick up their second win of the season and even their slate in the conference. And the Brickies are going to fall to 2-4, and they will still be winless in the conference, but certainly not ashamed of their effort out here tonight.
Not in the least. Some good things for both teams to take away from this game, I think.
And as you heard with that game, with that score between Highland and that contest with Lowell, there are not going to be any gimmies this season in the Northwest Crossroads Conference on the girls' side of things. Now midfield third, Walther, who's picked up one of the 3 goals for the Cougars, trying to gain control in the offensive third. She gets some help from Klemp. Klemp now trying to set up a potential corner, and she will not.
Or be first to the bus, one or the other.
That ball really is getting out of there. 37 seconds remaining in this one. Kankakee Valley came up with the victory in the JV game earlier today. As they're able to win that one, they took a 3-0 lead in this one before Hobart was able to get on the board and break the shutout on a beautiful pass by Cameron Rosbach. Got it right over to Henningfield, who was able to break the shutout. And as McPherson will approach the 6 here, there'll be 10 seconds remaining. The sands of the hourglass are going to start running out here on the Brickies as she'll kick it towards the defensive third. Knocked down as they battle forward in the midfield area. And that's going to wrap it up here this evening as the Kankakee Valley Cougars have defeated the Hobart Brickies by a score of 3-1. So, for the Hobart Brickies, they fall now to 2-4-0 on the season, 0-2 in the conference, and the Kankakee Valley Cougars now will move to 2-3-0 and 1-1 in the conference, Coach. Certainly a nice effort for both sides and a nice victory here for KV as they now will entertain Maryville in a couple days.
Yeah, they'll go at Maryville, a Maryville team who's added some quality players, added some physical strength to their side, and will be a physical challenge for KV just 2 days after this game. You got to remember, you know, they're playing down there on the turf with the infamous black pellets, in a 90-degree day. cooled off significantly this evening, but that was a hot field for both teams. That took a lot of steam out of your legs. So I'm not sure if Hobart has a match on Thursday or not. KB goes on the road to Maryville in a real trap situation there after a game like tonight.
Brickies actually go on the road at Andrean, and the Niners are not going to be in too good of a mood.
No, I don't think you're going to see the doilies set out. There's going to be very little hospitality, I would imagine.
Yeah, Jeff will certainly have his girls ready to go for that one. As the teams come in the sportsmanlike manner in the center midfield area, Coach. And, boy, the Brickies did a nice job there. I thought in the second half they kept their shape a lot better. They certainly did a lot more counterattacking into the offensive third, and it ended up resulting in a goal.
Yeah, it did. I thought, probably bell curves, right? The first, 10, 12 minutes of the first half, and then the last little bit. Some really good things to see where they pushed up out of that shape. They got to get used to doing that. They got to get used to how you recover when you push up and you make yourself vulnerable like that. And then to get the goal late. To get the goal late was just really a testament to the character because, I mean, I think you could see out there over the course of the game, this KB team is – there's a caliber of athlete out there that is not easy to play against. There's some real athletic talent out there.
No doubt about that. And you take a look ahead now, Coach, with this Kankakee Valley team. As we mentioned, hosting Maryville, then they go to Rensselaer. So this has been both of these teams playing 3 games in 1 week. The big one now coming up down in DeMont, Wheatfield area, they're going to be entertaining Highland on September the 8th. That should be a good one.
Yeah, that's when the schedule really starts to get interesting from them because then I think the next 3 games go, like Highland, Griffith, Chesterton.
And then after that, they're on the road at Andrean, at Crown Point, at Wheeler, and at Lowell.
So you've just come through this first 5 games, 2-3. Now you got a couple of games that most people will expect you to win coming up. On the road at Maryville, on the road at Rensselaer. They've only won road. Well, this is their second road win. So always a test to get these young kids to play well on the road, particularly in a short turnaround. But you take those 2 games, and then the schedule gets really, really meaty, and they'll need to have some more things figured out by then.
Well, we'll see what the Cougars can do. The Brickies will continue on with conference play. John, it's now time to name our Centier Bank performers of the game on both sides. Give me your thoughts, first of all, on the Hobart Brickies.
I've got to give it to Oros in the back, the center back. I mean, I just thought her ability to read the game, her speed out to the channels. We talked about the channels being exposed and the energy she showed. I mean, that was literally, there was 57 seconds left when the injury occurred here late in the game. And right before that, Oros had made just another run to stave off an attack. She's my player of the game for me.
So Andrea Oros gets the Centier Bank Performer of the Game for the Hobart Brickies. A lot of candidates for the Cougars. We had talked earlier, of course, about great plays by Haley Cox. I thought Riley DeTillo certainly ran about a marathon out there up and down the sidelines tonight. And certainly backline play was definitely in the very sure hands of Sam Tokars.
Yeah, and the other thing you got to mention is that, Reagan Walther dropping off that top line into that center mid. That was a caliber of play out of the center mid position that they've been lacking in big parts of this season so far, and she really settled that team down and still got forward for the first goal. So some really good efforts out there by KV.
So what do you think, Coach? As you mentioned, Sam did a good job in the back line. Haley had a goal and an assist out there tonight.
It's your call, Michael. It's
okay.
A toss-up for me. I love my defenders.
All right, we're going to go ahead and make it an all-defender Centier Bank Performers of the Game as Sam Tokars certainly did a great job in the back line and getting the defense transition up to the midfield. So 2 defenders get our Centier Bank Performers of the Game.
It's about time.
Give them some ink, that's for sure. So our Centier Bank Performers of the Game, and Andrea de Oros for the Hobart Brickies. Is Andrea a senior? does a great job in the back line for the Hobart Brickies. And meanwhile, the Kankakee Valley Cougars, also with the senior Sam Tokars, gets the honors for the Cougars. Your final thoughts, Coach, is Kankakee Valley with a nice road win here tonight.
Great road win. Tough week for them with 3 road games. So, actually, that Maryville is at their place.
Right.
I misspoke.
Right.
Maryville's at their place and then on the road. So, plenty to build on here. I think KV will get on this bus and still know that there's knobs that they need to tweak. But a good start forward after a tough 2-loss week last week. Hobart's got to feel real good about themselves. I think they can break this film down and build on this success. I think this will be a much better team come tournament time.
Always great to see you and the family out here, Coach. Really appreciate it. We'll certainly be working together as the season goes along. It's really going to be an interesting tournament coming up. We've got one more month of play, 4 weeks. Before you know it, they're going to be pulling the ping pong balls out of the machine.
And we'll be up here in coats.
Oh, my goodness. Let's not even think about that.
Yeah, well, it's not tonight. It's good and steamy up here tonight.
Thanks again to all of our sponsors who have made tonight's broadcast possible here on Regional Radio Sports, and they included State Farm Insurance and Centier Bank. We also want to thank ArcelorMittal, Teachers Credit Union, and Scapel Buick GMC Cadillac. Also, thanks go out to United States Marine Corps and Horizon Bank. We also want to thank the Tauber Law Offices on Eagle Ridge Drive in Sherrville. Levin Tire, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. Also by the Northwest Indiana Soccer League, Millennium Soccer Association Vardar and Van Gelnikovsky. Also by Albert's Diamond Jewelers with 2 locations in Northwest Indiana. Tech Federal Credit Union, Christensen Chevrolet on Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland, Automasters on Calumet Avenue in Hammond. And we also want to give out special thanks to all of our game sponsors for tonight's action. They included Superior Construction Company on East Dunes Highway in Gary. You can check them out on the web at superiorconstruction.com. We also want to thank the Kankakee Valley Athletic Department, Doug Greenlee, and the rest of the 19 varsity sports for girls and boys athletics at Kankakee Valley High School. Also by the Hobart Soccer Club. We want to thank them and Hank Pimentel for their terrific support. Also the Henningfield family supporting Ashley as well as the Brickies in their quest for success this season. And also thanks go out to Brent Datillo and the Datillo family, terrific supporters not only of Noah and the Hebron boys team, but also Riley and the girls team here at Kankakee Valley High School. Special thanks go out to Bob Glover, the athletic director here at Hobart, Russ Mellon, and the rest of the IT staff for helping us to be able to get this video cast on the air. So for John Huffnagel, this is Mike Knezovich saying so long from the Brickyard in Hobart, Indiana, where the Kankakee Valley Cougars pick up the win here tonight on the road in the Northwest Crossroads Conference with a 3-1 victory over the Hobart Brickies. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful evening, everybody. So long from the Brickyard.